Hey, what's up everybody? This video is a bit overdue, but here we have my quick thoughts on the FlipForge Edit. Whoa, that was cool. So, the Edit. I've had it for quite a while now, and I will say I've had time to mess with the adjustment system. But for me personally, sorry, I just heard like a blood-curdling scream from that direction. But anyway, for me personally, I like it how it comes stock. It comes stock with the heaviest weight inserts. It has two different options. It comes with, there's like a big brass insert, a little brass insert, and then a little plastic insert. And as far as I can tell, the plastic insert is just to make sure that you can still put the screw in and have the right tightness and everything. It's not actually intended to add any weight, because it weighs nothing. It's 3D printed plastic. So really you can basically have the heavy weights, the middle weights, or no weights. And the heavy weights themselves don't actually add a ton of weight to the handles. Comparing it with them in versus with them out is not a drastic difference. But, thankfully, I think it comes balanced pretty good out of the box. Now, of course, I like a pretty good amount of handle bias in my balisongs. But, since I think it has a good amount of handle bias right now, you can, of course, take that away and make it much more neutral. So when it comes to the customization, I think that they hit it pretty much right on the money. I think you have a good range, even though you only have 3. I think it's a good set of ranges for the weights. Now, the FlipForge Edit, of course, as its name implies, is a bit different than most other balisongs because you get to customize everything about this. I mean, you get to customize this, here, you get to customize the blade. So I'll talk about that a little bit. I think I would love to see FlipForge come up with new blade designs, because right now they only have this and a Tonto, and in my opinion the Tonto is kind of ugly. So I think you're basically stuck with this one, which he calls a crescent moon. But I don't necessarily think that's bad, because I really like this design. I think it looks clean. I think it would be kind of nice to see a really good looking design that clearly had an edge on one side or the other, for people that really want to treat their trainers as live blades for practice. But honestly, I don't really think that's the market that the Edit is in. I don't think it's supposed to be a real trainer. I don't think most plastic balisongs are really meant to be trainers for live blades. They're meant to be fun, light, and just a good time, which I think the Edit does an excellent job of. In terms of customization patterns for the handles, I think it's pretty good. There's, I believe it's 4 different options for every one of these. Some of them I don't personally like, but if you do, that's fine. I think that ultimately it's a bit ridiculous to say it's bad because 1 or 2 customization options don't fit my preferences, because most balisongs don't even give you a choice. And if they do, they give you a choice between like Tonto and Bowie, and that's it. So to see this much customization is super cool, and it means that basically everyone should be able to make something that they like. On top of customization of the shape, yeah, there's a lot of colors for you to pick from. Basically any color you could want, they have. And of course, you can do the handles the same color, or you can do them 2 different colors. Although 2 different colors will cost you a little bit more. I imagine it's because, you know, they have to switch the filament and possibly do them at 2 different times, which is understandable. They also have this there's different texture engravings you can get, and I did happen to get one. I don't think it's going to show up on camera real well, but it's like a little hexagon pattern that's all along the faces of the handles. And that, combined with the material it's made out of naturally being quite grippy, means that this thing has an insane amount of grip. For my taste, it's actually almost too much grip. In some places, such as pretty much anywhere where there's like these cutouts, it's like this 90 degree, it feels kind of sharp and not rounded. However, of course, as you flip it, that feeling goes away more. So it starts kind of bad and it will go away over time. Or you can use sandpaper and you can sand it down so it's much smoother everywhere. But if you're like me and you're thinking whether you should get this texture engraving on it or not, I'd say don't. You don't need it. There's plenty of grip without it. It will not make much of a difference for you. Let's see. The other thing about the Edit that I should note is, compared to everything else in my collection at least, this is it's a Chongus honker, let me tell you. It is a big boy. For instance, let's see. One of my other biggest Balisongs, at least with the handles, is the Bermuda. And its handles are actually slightly bigger. And if I get something like my Nautilus out, then the difference is almost comical in the size of the handles. Of course, this also translates to length. Beats it out by a pretty good margin, about half an inch or so. So it is a pretty big guy, gotta say. But honestly, it makes it really fun. I find the Edit is really fun to flip, and I think it offers a very unique experience in my collection. And I tend to like things that are unique because I feel more inspired to flip them. This is fun. It's non-threatening. It's plastic, so I could take it lots of places. It's balanced really well, and it flips really well. The action is amazing. Another thing to note on this is the general weight of it is actually quite good. It's in a range that makes it heavy enough that I think most people should be able to flip it just fine. I'm always a bit dubious of the weight of plastic because it can be super light. But I find this one quite enjoyable. I believe it's like 3.2 ounces, but don't quote me on that. Which, for me, is great because it's only a little bit lighter than my Nautilus. Now, let's see. Do I think that the Edit is worth the price? If I remember correctly, it's about $100 for the Edit or $75 for the Edit Lite. The Edit Lite, same exact thing. You can't customize the balance. So I'd say if you're someone who generally likes, assuming it comes with this balance on the Edit Lite stock, then if you're someone who likes a bit more handle bias, you like a lot of Squid Industry stuff, the Nautilus, then I think you would probably be better off with the Edit Lite and just save the money. You don't really need the customization. But if you like something more neutral, then considering paying the extra money for the customization is probably a good option for you. But in general, even at $100, this thing is still very well priced. It's fairly inexpensive, and I think that the amount of customization it offers warrants the higher price that it is asking for. So, I would definitely think that the FlipForge Edit is a great plastic Balisong. Of course, I don't have a lot of other ones to compare it to, but I think it's pretty great. I like it. It'll definitely be staying in my collection. And that's about all I have to say on it. If I think of anything else, if anything crazy comes up, I'll make a follow-up video. I will mention, I guess, the durability a little bit, because I just thought of that. Durability on it seems pretty good. I don't want to drop it onto concrete because it is plastic, but it has taken one drop onto concrete, one or two, and it's held up surprisingly well. Only slight dings to the handles that don't really impact the flipping. But, of course, if anything changes, if my opinions change, if I think of something new, I'll make a follow-up. So with that, hope you all had a wonderful day. If you have any ideas for video topics, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. And until next time, I hope that you all keep flipping.